Hi, welcome to a video on why Harvest Farms is not a broker. So, Harvest Farms is a food manufacturing company. We've just happened to add a sales team. So many companies manufacture food and they struggle with hiring a sales team or maintaining a sales team to grow. They would rather just manufacture, have other people market their products, travel, work with customers, deal with freight. A lot of people just want to manufacture and allow customers to pick up, and they don't care where their products go. And what stands in the middle of that is really just a broker moves other people's products, where they sit in the middle and they take advantage, they're able to make margin on or how much they're capable of making. So what Harvest does is we come in and we sell a solution and programs, not just products. I'll explain that a little bit more later on. So if your approach to the market is you're like a broker and you're just trading other people's items, you'll always compete on price. So we want to build a program where people can continue to come back to us at higher margins. And that's the healthy place to be in the market. So in addition, we're a manufacturer that assembles food programs. So I'll give you a few examples. In Lancaster, we have a facility that's USDA approved. It's a ready to eat USDA plant. The inspector there is there every day. There's 2 lines that process deli meat there. So we take pre-sliced bologna in bulk from Foster Farms. We'll put it through our machines in either a 2 or 4 ounce version. And we can also do something a little bit more custom and add imitation cheese or real cheese to those packages to make what we call a combo. One of the things we're really leaning in on right now is a kosher program. So a kosher hot meal program, plus our ability to assemble kosher box lunches through our facility. We do have a kosher certificate at Harvest, plus a halal certificate for our FDA side where we assemble bread. So kosher and halal are really hand in hand. We're trying to do things that are dual certified to make a broader approach for everyone. In addition, working with dietitians, we really hone in on something that's low sodium. So our primary customer base is institutional feeding, and that's a nicer way to say jails throughout the US, county jails, federal institutions, and state penitentiaries. Where low sodium really plays is keeping the inmates a little healthier. So we have a low sodium deli meat line. We have low sodium options throughout our menu, plus a low sodium kind of hummus cup that we've designed with this vendor in Chicago that only has 80 milligrams of sodium, which is really impressive. Another program, which is our anchor, is our box meal program. We'll go into another training video on that down the road. And something new as of 2026 is really emergency meal programs, developing something that 4 people can eat for a day with high calories with or without a kitchen. So let's think of an emergency with no power, no water, no heat. What can we feed people with in that scenario? Plus maybe a kit after when the power comes back on where they can have food to sustain themselves for a day, 2, 3, or 4, which is really great. And most distributors simply can't build these programs, but we can because we manufacture and we have a team in Lancaster that's capable of putting custom things together. So if you're a distributor, you're really wheels on the ground. If you're a broker, you're just trading what manufacturers make. But we're a manufacturer with the ability to do freight, make the programs, go out and sell it, which is really fantastic. So when we combine all our programs with our vendor network, which is very strong, we have quite a few vendors. We bring something together that's why customers could come to us and trust us, and we deliver, which is great. Brokers also work on thinner margins. We control margin through our manufacturing. Since we're the manufacturer, the more volume we pump through our plant, the lower our overhead is. So we can give the salespeople better cost to go in. No one in the country is doing box meal assembly at scale for correctional institutions like we do. There are some people that do K-12 for like dry kits, but really on the West Coast specifically, for institutions, we're the ones that are doing it at scale for box meal manufacturing. We also have some private label programs, the Alpine Exchange, things that we import from India, El Salvador. We import things from China. We have custom things made for us, even in the US, that are ours, which is great. And the exclusive vendor partnerships are really our, I'll use the beverage as an example. The manufacturer in Georgia can only make that product for us. So no one else could go to them and try to replicate what we're doing, which is great. Another thing that brokers don't do or won't do is put up inventory throughout the US. We have pre-staged inventory in Georgia for emergencies. We have product up in Chicago, down in Dallas, a few places in California, just to make sure we take care of customers. So when we control the program, we can control the economics, just says right there, and that's where margin comes from. So we're really excited. Also, the ability to make the meal depends on our ability to run the USDA plant. If we had to buy the USDA deli meat from another manufacturer, let's say in Chicago, our costs would go up dramatically, probably 10 to 15%. You don't win or make margin if we're buying things from other people. So our brand, we're the importer, we make the meat, we wrap the bread. So if you talk about a vertical, we're not growing the chickens, but we are definitely processing through the steps. We're not just doing, someone might just make a sandwich, but they're not slicing the meat or baking the bread. We buy a lot of bread from a vendor in California, but it's really neat to see how we go through those cycles. We also have vendors that can produce at scale. Foster Farms, massive chicken supplier out in the West. Vons, if Albertsons, Safeway, Vons, we buy from their bakery. And when you think, oh, it's a grocery store bakery. No, this bakery is a whole city block in Los Angeles. Current moment, Q1 of 2026, we're doing about 9 truckloads per week of bread alone, which is pretty impressive and growing. We also can support institutional customers who need reliability at volume. So think about a kitchen closure. Brett has one of those going on right now in Georgia. It's a truckload every 5 days. So that's about 65,000 meals. We're currently doing around 90,000 meals per day of capacity is what we're capable of doing, but we can always add more lines or people and really bump that up. During COVID 2022 time period, we were doing 780,000 meals per week, which is pretty great. So definitely have the capacity. In addition, we have a network of co-packers that we're able to leverage in Ohio or Missouri that can help us if we ever get in a pinch to make more products, which is great. And maybe someone up in even Sacramento in California. I want to talk a little bit about why speed matters. I was at a customer visit a few weeks ago back east, and these customers, when there's an emergency, they expect us to get back to them in an hour, not 3 days, right? If we get back to them in 3 days, they already found the solution. And one, customers knowing that we have things pre-staged so they can call you, but the ability to get back to them quickly is really what we need. And having products in Georgia is really just going to help us succeed or solve a customer's problem. So you're that call every time, which is great. So emergencies do happen. Menu changes. Sometimes the facility just needs product now. And I know a lot of time, let's use the feds as an example. They might have a lockdown or a riot and they can't wait 2 weeks to get a truck under it and then react. So we really got to be, speed is where we can win here. So our vendor relationships, we do keep a lot of inventory and we think about what we need to have. I'd say current moment, we probably have 7 million cookies at our fingertips in LA. And I don't really know a lot of people that keep 7 million cookies just around for institutional feeding, which is great. Plus a lot of drink mix, ability to get bread quickly, our pre-staged deli meat at our facility. It's all pre-wrapped and ready to go in a meal or sell by the pallet. So it's pretty neat. But when they know you can respond quickly, they're going to really trust you and we can get bigger programs down the road. So an emergency might be the way in, but to get a customer forever, let's solve their problem. So speed does matter. Real quick examples, Florida. We have a current customer based down there who had a kitchen closure. Another vendor came in, sold them 3 truckloads of bologna that was improperly wrapped. It turned green. And we came in and saved the day and was able to do it at high margins in the 30%, but still save the customer tons of money because we do this at scale and we're direct to the customer, we're not selling it to a broker at 15% and then they're putting 20% on it. We're able to go in and capture that 32%. And what we utilized was when I talk about a custom program, that's a build-a-box program we have on Excel, where a dietitian or an end consumer can go in and build what they want, where they put 2-pack of bread, they put a cookie, a snack, a drink mix, a milk, or they can build a breakfast meal, which is great. So that kind of also showing up and talking to them and providing samples and being responsive, that's how we can really penetrate and gain new accounts. So again, Harvest is not a broker. We create solutions, build programs, be it kosher, halal, emergency, kitchen closures, you name it. But also I'll tell you, our sweet spot's lunch. We do a very cost competitive lunch, and that's where we can really win. So we can also do it at scale. So again, in closing, if you approach the market like a broker, you're always going to compete on price. Approach it like a program builder, and we'll build deals that no one else can ever touch. So that's how we grow and win. So thanks for listening. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. I hope you enjoyed the video.